I started the company with Austin because I really enjoyed working with him when we worked at the New York Observer.
But in 2009, the Observer kind of imploded with the housing market, and Matt and I had to get new jobs. Then the Observer had no software developers, and so they called us to sort of keep the lights on for them in our free time. So in 2009, I went to work for The Economist, and Matt went to work for Slate Magazine. At the end of 2009, we decided that we needed a company to kind of keep the Observer thing going.
Basically, we saw a media industry that was hungry for a better way to do technology.
And I decided that from then on, I would really focus on building Alley into something sustainable.
I really see that ethos, that Alley is a team of people who really enjoy each other as colleagues, and that's really been central to how we've grown.
I was actually one of Allie's first clients in 2011 when I was working for a company called Art Info with Brian Krosky, who was Matt and Austin's boss at the New York Observer. And then I finally joined in 2012 when we were experiencing our first big explosive growth period, when we started to sign some of the big clients that are still a cornerstone of the company to this day.
We built a company that broke the mold in a lot of ways, and not everyone really understood what we were doing building a remote company in the beginning of the past decade.
And then that changed in October of 2012 when we hired Nicole, who I think, if I'm remembering right, was our first sort of purely intentionally distributed employee.
Even though we are remote, I have never felt more connected to coworkers.
We still have our, close connections to each other.
Their willingness to embrace just this idea of having a team across space and time.
I don't actually think that becoming a remote company was much of a challenge because it happened so organically.
We had a series of offices in Manhattan over the first several years of the company, but it became obvious pretty quickly we were developing a much stronger remote culture.
Every person we've added to the team has been someone where everyone really thought this was someone that we wanted to work with, and they'd really contribute, not just on a technical level, but on a personal level.
We come from a lot of different locations. We have a lot of diversity, yet we share similar interests.
The level of humor and compassion and excitement and passion for this job and the people is just constantly surprising.
Even though we're a distributed company, we don't see each other very often in person. It's great to be part of a team that's dedicated to doing good work.
Love it or hate it, Scrum has definitely changed the way that we work.
I think I learned more about running a business in 2018 than I have in any other year because we had to change so many things.
We're always experimenting to see if we can do things a better way or a different way.
We're really just exposed to a lot of different clients, and that just gives us a lot of really good experience.
I also really love learning about new stuff from our clients.
I legitimately get to learn something new every day.
Alley has played a central role in normalizing open source technology platforms for big media.
Alley is a company that takes our work seriously and honors our client commitments.
I count myself so privileged to work with so many smart individuals.
The quality of our team has always stood out to me.
Our clients value us because we can always help them answer the most important questions.
Definitely not.
Yes, it is a sandwich.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is.
I don't know why I had such a instinctual response to that, actually.
No comment. It's too dangerous.
I think it's something else.
Oh shoot, what would a hot dog be?
All the ways I would use to describe a sandwich, I would use to describe a hot dog. Like it's a piece of meat surrounded by bread.
It's a roll that is connected at one end with meat in the middle.
2 pieces of bread. Maybe they are not split, but they are still 2 pieces of bread.
It's not like the base bread, then the meat and fillings, and then bread. It's like
is ground meat, like ground animal flesh in a sack, a sandwich.
Because it will certainly take a different kind of, technique to finish it off.
All-encompassing.
There's so many different toppings.
I feel very strongly that sandwiches. Oh God, I'm talking myself into a taxonomy hole.
You don't cook sandwiches on grills, I think, is the distinction there. Like a hamburger is also not a sandwich.
I'm going to say I feel very strongly that sandwiches need to be flat, but then you get into hoagies, and hoagies are sandwiches.
You could also argue if a sandwich is like some sort of starch or bread with stuff in the middle, a burrito could also be a sandwich.
Doesn't matter what shape it is. By definition, I still call it a sandwich.
If you remove the bun, is it still a hot dog?
The sandwich is in the eye of the beholder.
I'm really excited to see what we tackle next.
How we build things, how we design things is going to change.
I hope we can help our clients continue to fight off Google and Facebook to own the relationship with their audience.
I calculated once that the sites we built have hundreds of millions of people reading billions of articles every single month. That's pretty crazy when you think about it.
I hope Allie can stand as an example of what stable teams and an equitable organization can accomplish, even as some companies would rather treat their team members like Uber drivers. And if in 10 years that makes us different or even strange, I would be just fine with that.
I've been thankful for my Allie family over these last 7.5 years.
I'm thankful that Matt and Austin asked me to join them to help lead you all on this wild ride. And I'm grateful for Matt and Bridget and Jeff and Susan who joined us since. And I just can't wait to see what's next.
Every day I show up for each of you, and I could not be happier to do so. Thank you all for everything that you've given me and for all that you do. And here's to 10 more years together.
We've been doing these retreats since 2013 as a way to bring everyone together in person at least once a year. They're my absolute favorite thing that we do, and this year is extra special. Thanks to everyone that's here to celebrate 10 years with us, and here's to 10 more together.